Good afternoon, and welcome to another Conversations in the Den, episode of Conversations in the Den. Today, our guest is artist Mark Farrell, who is has a company called Touch of Gold Creative Designs. He does some wonderful artwork that I believe he began after he had his incident. Now, Mark is a spinal injury survivor. No, he lives with spinal injury. He is a gunshot survivor. Okay, so Jennifer. Okay, so this is my co-host Jennifer, and everybody always wants to know who Alicia, and our technical guru is Alicia Galambos. We could not do the show without Alicia. We're all technically challenged. No, Alicia is our technical genius.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I love that everyone is here, and I look forward to an amazing conversation and can't wait to see what else we continue to create.
Yes, amen. Yes. Well, welcome, Mark.
Okay, hi, Mark.
Hi, Maria, Jennifer. And
so I see you're still rocking your COVID look.
oh, I am loving it.
Mark, did you always have a beard?
From time to time I grow it. It's so easy to grow, so.
Nice.
And since COVID, I haven't really gone to the.
We don't have those issues, so we don't know nothing about it.
Love it. I love it. Love the beard. Love the afro you've got rocking. Nice job. Nice
Natural.
job. And so I know Maria wants to start off the question, but I gotta tell you, I mean, you know, you could slap my wrist when you see me in person, but I love that space between your teeth. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
What is it called? Diastema?
I got it from my mom.
Ever since I was little, oh my gosh, I wanted a space between my teeth, Mark. And so what I did. Mark, guess what I would do?
Things that we get into in these conversations, I tell you.
Mark, remember islands, they had that foil paper with cigarettes. When your parents bought cigarettes, they'd have that foil paper. Yes. I used to fold it up really thin and put it between my teeth because I wanted a space so badly between my teeth.
And then your parents would have paid like $7,000 for the braces.
I think we all did something with that foil paper because I remember back home, 555 cigarettes had a gold foil paper, and we used to imitate gold teeth and wrap it in our mouth.
Me too. Oh my gosh, did you do that?
Mark is from St. Vincent.
Yes.
Oh, Guyana. Yes. Oh my gosh. I would, yep. And then my parents were so indulgent. I would wear that for like the whole afternoon for as long as it doesn't fall out. And then the next day I'd put it back in again until the foil paper ran out, and then I'd have to wait until my father bought another packet of cigarettes.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Okay, I'm gonna stop talking.
So Maria, we're actually here not to talk about Mark's gap in his teeth, but we're actually here to talk about Mark surviving living with spinal injury. Now, Mark is an extremely independent man. He is very Mark was at the Raptors parade, which I wouldn't even have gone to. Lord have mercy.
No, I wasn't gonna miss that.
And Mark is not he's in a manual wheelchair. Mark?
Yes.
Yes. So
always be manual.
So you know he's got some arms. He's got some guns from rolling them. It's just how it is, you know. So, Mark, I guess the first question we need to ask to inform our viewers is, How long have you been in the wheelchair?
It's been 26 years, going on 27.
Oh, so you had the wheelchair since you were 1.
Exactly. That's funny. Yes, 26
Okay, so
years.
now, how did you end up in the wheelchair, Mark?
I was shot multiple times in my back. One hit my spine and left me with a incomplete injury, which
Okay,
means
so were they able to remove the bullets?
I still have fragments of one of the bullets inside of me because it blew up, it shattered. So they would have done more harm to me trying to remove those pieces, or they just left them.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I guess the first question I'm going to ask you is probably going to be a little bit of an emotional one, but I'm going to ask you, when they told you you are now going to be a paraplegic, what went through your mind?
I couldn't even grasp what they were saying to me. The question that was going through my mind was, what do you mean paralyzed? Because I was very athletic. From football to track and field to cross country. I played basketball. So hearing this was almost waking up from a dream into a nightmare.
Yes, absolutely. I understand.
And wanting to go back into that dream.
You know, like the rewind, like, can we go back in the future?
Right. To the future? Let me go back to sleep and wake up and tell me something.
Yes, I hear you.
And
Mark, how old were you? Because we can't tell your age. I'm sorry.
I was 19 at the time. I was 19 when I got shot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think 2 weeks before my 20th birthday.
Wow. So
that
I
is
guess
really...
another question I have for you. So do you have children?
I don't.
Okay. Are you able to have children?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I haven't.
What does that mean?
Well, I haven't been in a relationship.
Does that mean you have not spoken to the doctor about it, or does that mean you have not made the attempt?
I haven't made the attempt to have kids.
Okay.
And I haven't been in a relationship where it was something that we talked about or anything like that. So it's never really been on my mind. It's not something that bothers me. I think in myself, I'm scared to go to the doctor to find out if I can or I can't. I don't want to hear, no, you can't, because
then it's going to be like something in your mind that you're going to want to.
Right. And I think I have enough on my plate already. So,
you know, I hear you.
So it doesn't bother me. I know it's something that comes with a spinal injury. Not everybody can have kids. Not everybody can perform the act of having kids. So you take what you get and you make the best of it, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mark, can I ask you something?
Definitely.
It was just before your 20th birthday. It's can we go back a little bit in time? It's your 20th birthday. It's finally sinking in that you are never going to walk again. Or did it not sink in?
It hasn't sunk in as yet.
When did it sink in?
It still hasn't sunk in.
About 5 years later.
Really? Yeah, tell me about that. Please tell me about that.
Well, unfortunately for me, I was incarcerated.
Okay.
And from the hospital to being locked up, there was a lot for me to value as what's important right now at this very moment, because for one, I'm leaving a hospital where I just had a spinal cord injury. My lifestyle has taken a total change.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
have no knowledge of what's ahead of me. No
Yes,
therapy,
life is starting over.
right? No counseling, and then I'm locked up looking at a life sentence added to my previous life sentence of a changed lifestyle. So one night, while I was in my cell, I started looking back at life, where I was, how things happened, what was going to be my next step, even though I was at a standstill, so to speak, no pun intended. It was a moment of forgiveness, forgiving people that has, or who had tried to use me, people who tried to kill me, abuse me. It was that moment where I was able to forgive.
Okay, but were you also able to forgive yourself, Mark?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
I was. I even forgive myself for not coming to the realization sooner that my lifestyle have changed, because I was a very angry person within those first 5 years and beyond. Because even after the acceptance and then being released from prison in 2001 from 1994, it was a whole nother adjustment. Here's a lifestyle.
Like the world had changed, I'm
Right.
sure.
Exactly. A lot of things has changed. I had no money. I had no clothes, nowhere to live. I mean, my old man bailed me out, so I was living with him, but it's still not a peace of mind. It's a total change from being locked up in a cell by yourself every day for 7 years and then coming home to having a lot of people moving around you that you're not used to. So it takes a lot of adjustments.
Okay, so can I ask you a question? So even though you were in a wheelchair, they didn't have you in any kind of special area or anything?
In the beginning, when I was just arrested, they had me on the hospital unit because I was coming from a hospital.
Okay.
So they put me on the hospital unit until I had developed enough strength to be placed onto general population, which I was. So, and from that moment, I spent the next 7 years in population. So there was no special, the only thing special really was I could get my cell open when other inmates weren't able to do that, because maybe I needed to use the bathroom or I needed to go lie down. I was granted those privileges. So,
Mark,
okay, so you had no physiotherapy or anything like that?
no. I mean, they set up some mock physiotherapy at the Ottawa General Hospital, where there was a rehab unit as well. And I was placed there under an alias of Lorenzo Cloutier. I never forget that name. And I had a guard with me 24 hours a day. Now, when it was time to go down to physiotherapy, they paid me no attention. I would go with concerns. Listen, my hips are tight, my hamstrings feels tight, and they would just give me sandbags and say, here, put that, lie on your stomach and put that on the back of your hips. Nobody came to stretch me out. And,
so you did have somebody stretching you. Now,
yeah.
one thing people don't understand, and I know we've had this conversation in the past, that even though you are paralyzed, you still have feeling like pain, nerve
Definitely.
pain, things of that
Right.
nature. I
And
remember you telling me when it rains, you go through a lot of pain.
Oh yeah, before it rains, I could tell if rain is gonna come 2 or 3 days before.
wow.
I start feeling the effects of it. And that's because of the fragments that are inside me. It's like my magnetic field has picked up more. I'm more sensitive to the
Oh, so we just gotta get you a cape now.
Pardon?
We just gotta get you a cape.
Right.
Since you got the magnetic field going on and everything.
So I
Mark.
do have some movement and some feelings.
And what do you take for that?
Nothing.
Yeah. Mark, tell me about a day in the life of Mark. What do you get up in the morning? What do you do first, second, third? How do you manage your energy? How do you manage work? How do you manage cooking for yourself? Hygiene, all of that. Tell me a day in the life.
That's a good question. Every day is different for me because being an artist, I don't sleep, I nap. So I will nap here, nap there. I'll go to my bed, but I could go to my bed at 7 o'clock in the morning and be up by 9 and take a shower and I'm okay because there's something going through my mind. But I would say getting up on a regular day, make my bed, bathroom, do my routine with using the bathroom, take a shower, or I may, after using the bathroom, I wash my hands and get a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, depends on what I feel, turn on the news, straighten up, check my emails. If I have something in the fridge to cook, I'll take it out so it could get room temperature before I start cooking it. Or I may just go to the grocery store.
Just so that you know, Jennifer, Mark is an amazing cook. He's a very, very good cook.
Thank you, Maria.
Mark, where do you live?
I live in North York.
Maria, can you arrange dinner?
I'm sure I could.
Listen, Mark,
Why
I'm not shy. When you offer me free food, I say yes, thank you. I do not look a gift horse in the mouth.
Nothing wrong with that. Oh man. Yeah, I catch up on the news. As far as shower, I use a shower chair, and I use a customized shower chair with a padding and a water.
Does your shower, is it a roll-in shower or?
No, I decided to keep the tub because there are those times where my body is aching, my muscles are sore, and I want to soak, and I want to be able to do that. So I refuse the wheel-in shower. So I could put some Epsom salt, some peppermint, eucalyptus, and go soak my body when I need it.
Mark, how have you navigated having a relationship? Are you in a relationship right now?
No, I've not been in a serious relationship in 10 years.
Okay.
And it's something I at this moment choose not to navigate. And I think it's because I realize even though I may be perfect for somebody, there are things about myself that I'm still working on before I could say, look to be in a relationship with someone.
Well, I tell you, Mark, that I have to give you credit for that because it takes a strong man, because there are a lot of men out there who cannot feel, they just cannot, they don't take the time to really get to know themselves and get to know what they have to offer, what they want to receive. So I'm really, I'm proud of you for that.
And to add to that, not only that part, but my part of life where I'm dealing with a new life. Every day is something new. Every day is a new obstacle. Somehow, some way, there's going to be a new obstacle to face. I don't expect anybody else to have to face those obstacles with me. You know, it's something that I frown upon myself to even do, because in my past relationships, I've seen the person who cared about me, who loved me, cried for those moments when I'm in so much extreme pain and there's nothing they can do about it. And that hurts me to see that. So I take all of that into consideration as far as relationships go. You know, I can deal with it. I believe everything that I've gone through from my past has even prepared me for these present times, because before I was locked up for the 7 years, I spent a lot of my teenage by myself. Even though I had people around me, I was still by myself. I've looked back and seen that, and maybe it's for a reason. And whatever it is, I'm not bitter, I'm not angry, I'm still enjoying life. I go fishing, I go to the Raptors game, right?
He loves his fishing.
When I go home, I go swimming. I swam from one side of the island to the next side,
Wow.
to motivate people who are in my position, to let them know, hey, society may see you in one light,
Yes.
but let me give you a different path as not being disabled, but being differently able, because that swim was the biggest relief from using a wheelchair for 26 years, because I'm able to go from one side of an island to the next without my chair, without my legs.
And so that's so good. You know, Mark, I always say to people, we're different, good. We're different, great. Because honestly, my life before stroke compared to my life after stroke, it's night and day. And I love my life post-stroke. Yeah. I mean, I have lived my best life ever post-stroke. The things that I do post-stroke, I would not have been able to do it. I would not even be able to touch any of that that I'm doing right now. Even talking to you, Mark, I wouldn't be here talking to you if I didn't have, if I wasn't post-stroke.
Very true. None of us would be.
That's right. And so I always said to handicap like myself, I said, you know, we're different, good. We're different, great. We're different, amazing. But there's a part, we ourselves have to accept different, good and different, amazing. Because if we don't do that, then we can't experience that magic that happens past handicap.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean,
The labels, yes.
the first time I went fishing here in Canada, we went from Campbellford, Ontario, to Waterford, Ontario.
Nice. That's outside of where I live. Yes.
Right. We went fishing. We got back to Toronto around 11 o'clock, 11:30 that night, and decided we weren't going home without fish. And we drove out to Waterford, we gassed up and we drove out to Waterford. And when we got to the parking lot, I got into the back seat, switched with the person that was in the back, and I put my feet up on one side because there was coolers and bags on one side of the back seat. So I was able, and I slept in the car.
Yeah.
And when I tell some people this is what I did, they go, what? They go, how? They think being in a wheelchair, using a wheelchair, stops you from doing certain things in life. You know, they think that you should be limited. I mean, there are people that were home that were saying to me, are you sure you can make that swim? I'm walking and I can't make it. And I said, you know what, it's just mind over matter. Yes. I've been using this wheelchair for 26 years. I know the stamina that I have. I know the determination that I have. So it's just a matter of just looking at it and saying, it's done.
You know, the thing is, that is the thing, is you have to have the determination that you're going to continue to progress beyond whatever has transpired in your life.
Yeah.
And I think so. And I think God gives us, those people that accept where we're at, all of a sudden the scales fall from our eyes and we're able to see things that we never saw before. We're able to see things other people weren't able to see. It's like we have a different vision. I mean, look at Maria, look at yourself. Maria started this company and she would not have started this company prior to its stroke. Yourself, you would not have started that Instagram website. And what is it called, Mark? Remind us again, please.
Touch of Gold Creative
Touch of
Design.
Gold Creative
I
Designs.
could actually show you guys some of my
Please
work
do.
that I have
Please
right
do. Please. Wow. Wow.
And it's all done with glitter and glue.
Wow. That is crazy, Mark. That is incredible.
And he did not even know he had artistic talent prior to.
Well, I did, but I just never really tapped into it like the rest of my family did.
Wow.
Because
Mark, that is amazing.
I did not have the outlet at the time or the support.
I love it. I completely love it.
Yeah,
wow.
he does some amazing work. I have quite a few. I have 4 of his pieces.
Mark, that's just stellar work.
And
incredible. So
here's
creative.
one with color. It tore, but I think it's still beautiful.
That's gorgeous.
A rip in the corner, but
that is gorgeous. Oh my goodness. You have amazing talent.
And I've been working on this one for 2 years.
Wow. Fantastic.
I'm a huge Raptors fan.
I can tell. I can tell. Now, Mark, tell me, do you actually?
When I saw him, when I was watching the parade and I saw Mark, I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe Mark is at the parade. Because everybody saw how many people were down there, and there was Mr. Mark.
And I had VIP seats.
Nice job.
Listen,
Mark,
you couldn't have no
That's
one.
one benefit.
Yes, the wheelchair is a very big benefit to me.
Mark, you gotta show us your guns. We're almost out of time, but you gotta show us those guns. Nice. Hello.
I mean,
nice
the wheelchair has its advantages. When it comes to traveling, when I go to the airport, I get to board first.
Yes.
If that flight is full, I get bumped up to first class.
Nice job.
Me and somebody, I could pick somebody to come with me in first class.
Very nice.
I went to Jamaica a few years ago, and that's exactly what happened. We got bumped up to first class. We got drinks. We got the whole 9 up first class.
Oh, drinks! Hello.
Free drinks. Free
oh
food.
My! You're speaking my language. Free drinks and food? Are you
free
kidding
everything.
me?
Free everything. Free nuts. Free beer. Free whatever. Rum and Coke. Whatever you wanted.
That's it, Mark. We're traveling with you from now on.
The next thing, I don't have to line up at Service Ontario. I don't have to line up at the banks. Any government places, I don't have to line up. I'm next in line. There could be 250 people in line, and I show up. I'm next.
And that's the good thing about Ontario, is that we really respect the handicap, as long as we're able to see it right off the bat.
Definitely.
You know, the handicap like myself that you're not able to see right off the bat, I need
Right.
to do a little. I have to do a little bit educating as I go in order to get what I need, and that's fine.
Well.
And that's fine. I don't mind doing the educating as we go, because my handicap is not very visible. But one of the things that Ontario does very well is with our visible handicap, they are treated with dignity, with respect, and they're given the space in society that they deserve.
But at the same time, we are met with some disrespect over the phone.
Yes, because they can't see you're a handicap. Yes.
But they do know, as far as ODSP.
Tell me about that.
I find them to be very disrespectful as of late. I have 2 wheelchairs. The current one that I'm using is an old one because the new one has a lot of repairs that needed to be done. And it's been a month now since I've been trying to get it fixed and trying to communicate with ODSP. They seem to be working from home, So a lot of them feel comfortable, maybe sleeping, lazy around. They don't want to deal with you. They give you attitude. My worker, she wanted me to go and get a fax number so they could fax over information to get my wheelchair fixed. But the faxing part is not on me. It's a fax number that has been on file for as long as I've been dealing with them, 17 years, 18 years.
Yeah.
And they recently faxed over a work order and it went through. So why am I now have to find a fax number for you? That's your job. You know, my job, my responsibility is to call you and let you know my chair needs to be repaired.
Yes.
And you know the company.
And in this day of technology, they're still using fax machines. They can't send you an email.
Right. So I told my worker, listen, that's not my job. And she started talking rude to me. I said, listen, it seems like I'm going to have to call the news. And she goes, you know what? Do it, Mark. Please call the news. And she hung up.
Wow.
I called back and asked to talk to a manager or supervisor.
Yeah.
I was put onto a machine and the machine said they will return your call within 48 hours. This was last week, Wednesday, I believe, so a week ago.
It's been a really long 48 hours,
right.
huh?
I even called the PM, the MP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On Tuesday, given that Monday was a holiday, and left a message. No return calls either.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry. That shouldn't happen.
I still don't have my chair.
Guys.
The wheelchair company had told me, the lady I spoke to said, I'm going to call you back this evening. I don't know which evening that is. If maybe it's this evening she'll call me. That was over a week ago as well. So I'm getting screwed from both sides. The people who are supposed to provide the service and the people who are supposed to pay the people for the service.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mark. It shouldn't be that hard. It shouldn't be that, and I apologize for that. Only because I know what it feels like to be in need and not have that need met.
Right.
Simply because they can't see how important it is. Because I think people on the phone want to hear you weep and grovel, and it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be. You should be able to say, this is what I need with respect, and hear with respect, yes, I can do that for you. And I'm sorry, that shouldn't happen at all.
Yep.
Now, Mark, I know at one time you were driving.
Yeah.
And you had your car, what am I trying
modified.
to say?
I had it modified.
Modified, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could drive.
Yeah, 10 years ago, I was at a car, a nice old school Cutlass Supreme.
Nice. I had one of those, yeah.
You thought he was in a rap video, I'm sure.
No. No, I just love old cars. And at that time, I was attending college as well, so it was like a means to get to school and get around quicker instead of waiting for wheel plans and taking up 2 hours to travel when it could take half an hour. So, yeah. And
that's one thing I hate about all of these transit services for physically challenged people.
Yeah.
They take I don't use them because they take too long.
Yeah.
They come late at times and then they pick you up late, or they come early and you're not ready, even though you've given them a time, but they and then there's like 5 other people in the vehicle and you have to go through this long route. Like, it's just too much. And I think that there needs to be better service.
Yeah, that's the part of it that I don't like. And I don't really use Wheel-Trans unless I really have to. I just jump on a regular bus. Where I live, there's I think 5 or 6 different bus routes that run right into the intersection. So I could get to the subway within 10 minutes and within 15, 20 minutes.
That's awesome. Mark, I got to ask you a hard question.
Definitely.
So you had sex before, you got shot. What's the difference between the sex pre being shot and post injury? Is it great sex? Is it okay sex now? Is it just?
I knew Jennifer was coming with the question. I knew she was coming with it.
It's like wine in a barrel.
Ah, aged and better.
Gets better with time, huh?
I love it. I love it. Plus, you've got the wheelchair, right, Mark?
Right.
Like, I mean, really, I mean, that can perch stuff on it.
Definitely. So, yeah, I mean, for the first 2 years, it didn't work. So that was, I think that was due to a lot of the medications that I was on. That was muscle relaxers and other medication to like help me control my bladder and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And after 2 years and I saw nothing, I decided to take myself off the medications, stop taking them.
Yeah.
And one day I was in the shower.
And it worked.
Slightly.
Nice job.
It slightly worked. So, and I saw that and I had to give myself some hand-to-hand therapy and
Oh yeah, nice job. Yeah, yeah. And I mean, listen, those guns that you have, I mean, that could lift a 150-pound person.
probably more.
Ooh.
Oh, Jennifer's giving you positions now. Lord have mercy.
Listen, I'm not saying anything Mark don't already know.
I need to turn on this AC.
Listen, Mark, I think we're almost out of time, but you have been such a great sport. So, you know, talking to you, know, there's lots more I want to talk to you about. I want to talk to you about how you navigate your apartment. I want to talk to you about how you navigate relationships. I mean, we've just been really silly today. I am sorry, but we would love for you to come back. Would you come back?
Definitely.
Thank you, Mark.
Definitely.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Well, I'll let Maria have the last word with you.
Stay safe. Make sure that you are, you know, doing all the things that I know there's so many regulations now with masks and, you know, hand washing and all of that. I mean, as people from the Caribbean, I know that we're hand washers anyways. We do those things. But, you know, please stay safe because, you know, you know that even though you're healthy, you know, anything can happen to any of us at any time.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And you guys as well, stay safe and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Congratulations with the show. And thank you for having me on.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks for coming on, Mark. Take care. I am Jennifer Wolf.
Enlightening us about living with spinal injury and that it is possible to live your life.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Well, listen, everybody, I'm Jennifer Wolfenden. Stay open to the miracle of a beautiful life. I did, and it happened for me.